And by now you may have heard that the founder of defunct Capital Bank, William Ato Essien, and 3 other persons have been charged by the state with 26 offences for their roles leading to the collapse of the bank in 2017. Former CEO of the bank, Fitzgerald Odonko, owner of MC Management Services Limited, Dr. Tete Nete, CEO of Reroy Cables Limited, Kate Quarte Papafio, were cited in the charge sheet presented to the Accra High Court. The charges include conspiracy to steal, citing Mr. Ato Essien and Tete Nete acting together between October and November 2015 in Accra to steal 100 million Ghana cedis belonging to Capital Bank. Are these charges strong enough to deter others who may be mishandling depositors' funds? Well, we'll be speaking to Dr. Daniel Sedo. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, Nicola.
How are you this morning?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm very well, thank you. Doc, so what do you make of the charges that have been brought against these directors?
Oh, what I tell people is that I do not have the legal competencies to talk about legal matters, but by my understanding, it's just part of the process of bringing order and sanity into our financial system. Let's remember that they hold a position of trust. We take our monies to the bank for people to look after them, that when we are looking for those monies, we can take them back without hassle. For those people not being able to account for our money, and for that matter, we are losing money, it is important that they go through the system and account for our monies properly. So it's a good thing to do.
Right, but I take it you are more concerned about the actual retrieval of the funds from these directors, correct?
Exactly so, because ultimately, you and me would have to pay. So what we have done is take your money to the bank, and you have to pay tax to be able to get your money back. Does it make sense to you? No, isn't it? Meaning, anytime you take your money to the bank, you will have to pay tax to get that money back.
Right.
So effectively, they are telling us that we are better off keeping the money under our pillows or hiding it in the farm. But that should not be the case. We need to build a financial system that is trustworthy, everybody can have confidence in, and enable us to mobilize resources for development. So we need to get back to do the right thing.
Dr. Sedo, you have some reservations about the structures in the financial sector in general. Would you mind sharing some of these with us?
Yes, what I keep saying is that we're talking about the bank, forgetting that the banks themselves are not the ones who generate the money. The monies are generated elsewhere and deposited in the bank. So if the banks have lost money, then it means the owners of the money should also be going through some distress. And we should be discussing that. We should look at this whole thing holistically, such that we address all the concerns, and where we need help, we call for help. Let's say you work somewhere and you put your savings in there. Ultimately, it's you who is in trouble. Let's say you go and buy insurance, and the insurance companies go and put the money in the bank, and they can't get that money. When you're going to make your claim, you will go through challenge. Let's say you give your money to fund managers and they put it in a bank, or you put your money in pension account and they put it in the bank. You would have problems trying to get those monies back. And I'm also drawing attention to a certain behavior of people who are in position of trust. The trust has been abused. Do we have similar position elsewhere and with this kind of behavior? That is all I'm drawing attention to. We need to look harder and see that the general thing, and we need to address the issue holistically.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Sedo. But I also have on the line private legal practitioner, Mr. Martin Pebu. Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning, anyone.
So you must be impressed with the state's move to prosecute these directors of the defunct bank?
Absolutely. Yes. So anyone,
yes.
The context of this prosecution is that you remember that when this matter came up, the public asked for a prosecution and asked for it and asked, but it wasn't forthcoming. So this matter seems to have died. Then, out of the blue, the government comes and announces that, oh yes, the prosecution is on. So for me, it brought so much excitement. You know, in private conversations, which we cannot repeat on air, they are all giving up saying that, oh, that's how the system works. They are taking care of each other. They would never bring any prosecution. But to the extent that finally a prosecution is starting, that in itself is a huge step. It's a big achievement. We don't need to convict anybody before we celebrate. No. And also, the purpose of the trial is not to achieve a conviction at all costs. No, that's not justice.
Right.
But the fact that a trial is going to start in itself is justice. And it will send a very strong message, a strong signal to the rest of us in society, and especially those in the banking industry, that, look, the long arm of the law would reach you if you fall foul of it. You see, so that's the message. So, and you know, because the trial is not a one-day event, you see that every time that there's a sitting, the media, you will cover it. So each time you keep bringing up this topic in order to update us about the court proceedings. In the process, we are being cautioned and reminded every day to be careful, because next time it could be me, or it could be Kwesi or Abukari. You say, so that's what makes it very good. So you see that even earlier on your other network today, Daniel asked if we would want it to be telecast. And I said, yes, I'll go for it any day. So that if it's telecast live on TV, okay, and then radio stations also pick the feed, it's good. So that in all of this, we would be learning and forcing ourselves to steer clear of. We haven't said anybody is guilty. No, far from it. But it's the whole process of trying to bring justice that we will all learn from, that we want to celebrate for now.
Right. Okay, so I was going to ask you if you think that these charges will serve as a measure to restore trust in the financial sector, but I think you've made that very clear.
Exactly. So that is it. And we shouldn't just shove that aside. It's a huge achievement, yes, and we will reap benefits from it.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining us. We've just been speaking to Mr. Martin Thebu, who's a private legal consultant.